Sports Talk with the Cowboy.
Welcome and thanks for riding with the Cowboy. Got a lot to do on the show tonight. First of all, I would like to tell all the viewers that we're going to be at the Blueberry Festival in Avon Park, Florida, April the 22nd. DJX and myself. We're going to be down there at the festival between 9 and noon. Or the viewers, anybody else want to come down, and we're going to shoot a show down there live at the festival if you want to come on down. Please feel free to come on down and be down there with us. And then we're going to go on to the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. The Buccaneers free agents woes. No real news this week, except that Devin White, our linebacker, has asked for a trade a couple of days ago from Jason Light. The Buccaneers don't believe they're interested in a trade, but I guess if you give them enough draft picks, they might consider it. This is the fifth year option of Devin White. And when Levante David re-signed, we just kind of figured naturally that Devin White would stay his last year. But apparently he wants a contract further down after this next season. He's guaranteed $11.7 million this year, Devin White is. And the Bucs aren't right now financially unable to give him a long-term contract after this next year in 2023. So they're coming to an impasse, and he wants a trade. And the Bucs really aren't interested in trading him, but if you wow them at the draft, maybe they'll take a trade. That's the only real news over at the one Buccaneer place this week. No new players brought in. Some of the college draft prospects have been brought in. Will Levis from Kentucky, the quarterback, has been brought in. They bring in about 30. Every team brings in about 30 draft prospects to their facility before the draft. Don't mean they're going to draft them. They just bring them there and let them see the facility and talk with them and see some of the attributes that they might, if they run into them in the draft, and pick them up, well and good. And all the teams do it. And that's about all that's going on. They're gearing up for the draft. No news on Lamar Jackson. He's still floating around there as a free agent. No news from the Ravens as far as going out and trying to re-sign him. Though the Ravens did sign Odell Beckham to a $15 million contract, one-year deal with the Ravens as a receiver. No news on Aaron Rodgers with the Jets, but we all know that the Jets and the Packers are going to make a deal with the draft night, and Rodgers is going to be a Jet. So that's about it on the NFL news. A lot of it gearing towards the draft, which is in less than 2 weeks, and we all know that that's where their concentration is right now, unless something presents itself that's extraordinary that they have to stop and go to. Lamar Jackson or something like this, the Devin White trade if they were to make one. But the Bucs maintain they don't want that trade. We'll keep you posted on the NFL news at our next show. That's about all on the NFL tonight. We're going to go to the Tampa Bay Rays because they're setting records at 11-0. They're the only undefeated team in Major League Baseball, and tonight they'll play the Boston Red Sox. The shooting of this show would be the first pitch of the 12th game. If they can win that 12th game, they will move into the third longest winning streak from the start of the season in Major League history, starting in 1884. Let me get that right, 1884. We right now hold the fourth longest winning streak from beginning of the season right now at game 11. And we can move into third spot if we win tonight. 14's the magic number to win, to be the longest winning team from the start of a baseball season if the Rays can make it to 14. They're playing tremendous baseball at Tropicana Field in St. Petersburg. They're playing out of their minds. Every player is playing absolutely marvelous. They're hitting. Rosarina, Lau, Margot, everybody's hitting the ball. We've got 29 home runs in the first 11 games. Unbelievable. So this team is putting a product on the field unmatched, unparalleled in its 25-year history. The Rays celebrate their 25th year this year, the greatest single start in Major League Baseball, maybe in the history of baseball. Certainly in the history of the Rays. They've got a fantastic product. We know they're going to not stay unbeaten 162 games, but they're putting a product out there the rest of baseball can say, this is the team. When there's all the other teams with the defeats, and the Rays have 0 on that score. And they've been hitting, they've been pitching, they've been playing defensive ball. They have been absolutely dominating it in every facet. Congratulations to the Tampa Bay Rays. Congratulations to the ownership, the management, Kevin Cash, the manager, and the players, and the fans of Tampa and Tampa Bay that have been into the Tropicana Field, putting 25,000 fans in the seats every game over there. It's a wonderful thing to see. This team deserves it, and we're witnessing something as fans that we should cherish, because it's a great happening over there at Tropicana Field. Get out and support those Rays. They're winning. Tonight's the third game of a 3-game set against the Red Sox. They won last night. They'll be off Friday, and they'll go up and play the Chicago White Sox. We'll see if the streak continues. Go Rays. Congratulations to each and every one of them on what they've already accomplished and what they've shown baseball and what they've shown us that they can be in this season. This could be the year they win that first World Series. We're going to hope and pray that is the case. Now we're going to go into the Tampa Bay Lightning. They were defeated last night by the Toronto Maple Leafs. 1 game remaining on regular season. That will be tomorrow night, after which they'll prepare for the playoffs and their run at Lord Stanley's Cup. In the first round, like last week reported on our show, the Tampa Bay Lightning will play the Toronto Maple Leafs in that first round. In the last 2 years, who have they played the first round? The Toronto Maple Leafs. Well, this is 3 in a row. So we've got to get prepared. At the shooting of the next show, they'll have already started that series, the Tampa Bay Lightning against the Toronto Maple Leafs. So we need to get out there and support the Lightning, beat the Thunder. The Lightning have been playing sloppy hockey most of the second half of the year. They've been playing sloppy hockey the last week since this last taping of the show. They've been terrible defensively. Offensively, they've had their moments. Last night they had 8 penalty periods, and they did not score 1 point. So they've had some terrible luck the last few games, and we sorely need them to get this last game sorted out and then get ready for the playoffs, because the playoff is upon us. So you get out there and be the Thunder for a Lightning. We'll keep you posted on it. There's no real major injuries. Stamkos, Hedman, Vasilevsky, they're out there. Braden Point's out there. They're all out there. It's just that we're not, as a gelled group, playing all functions of the game, both defense and offense. We got to get that together, because in these series, as you lose 3 games, you're out. So we need to get ready for the playoffs, and we will. You be the Thunder for the Lightning. We'll keep you posted on the Lightning. And now we're going to go to the Masters, where John Rahm won the Masters, a PGA Tour member, beating Brooks Koepka and Phil Nickerson on the last day of the Masters. Both of those represent Live Golf, so we was very pleased to see PGA beat the Live Golf. Here at Sports Talk with the Cowboy, we do not support Live Golf. It's owned by the Saudi Arabian government. We do not support the Saudi Arabian government in that respect. We do not respect the Saudi attempted takeover of the PGA Tour. In my humble opinion, I'm PGA forever. So we're glad to see John Rahm win the Masters and be a PGA member, and certainly was rooting for him. He was behind Brooks Koepka most of the second and third round, and Phil Nicholson made an admirable charge, but second's just the first loser, and we're glad the PGA came out on top on the tournament and came out tournament one of their members winning it. Congratulations, John Rahm from Spain. And so that's our Masters update. They fought serious weather conditions on Saturday. Rain, wind, sun on Thursday, sun on Sunday, but it was a Master to remember. Now we're going to go to our questions, and the first one tonight is from Stephen, and Stephen wanted to know what I thought about a trade for Devin White. Stephen, I think nobody wants to trade Devin White, especially the Buccaneers. They don't have any real want to trade him. If somebody comes up, Stephen, and just offers them something they can't turn their back on, because Devin White, after next season, the 2023 season, will be a free agent to go anywhere he wants to. So, I mean, you got to look at it the Bucs side. If somebody comes and offers you a first round, a second round, or a couple picks, you could get those players under contract for 4 or 5 years. Would you rather get that or have Devin White play 1 year and then leave? Because he's probably not going to re-sign with you if he stays and plays another year. So, Stephen, we'll keep you posted. Personally, if we could get a few players, I think Devin White played real well the year before the Super Bowl and the winning year of the Super Bowl. But the year before last, his game was a little off, and last year his game was terrible. And he took off some plays. We all know it. We all saw it. He was called out by the media. He was called out by even some of his coaches. He was called out by former players of the Bucs, Hall of Fame players, by the way. Warren Sapp's one of them. He didn't play up to par last year. So that's how we feel about Devin White. If he wants to move on, then good for Devin White, especially if we can get a couple picks. Thank you for your question, Stephen. The next question is from Trudy. And Trudy wanted to know what I thought about the Rays and their opportunity to win 14. I think they got a good chance, Trudy, and tonight they'll go after 12, and then they'll go and play the White Sox, and if they can win 2 games, they'll have tied the all-time winning record from the start of the season with 14 wins and no losses. And we'll just have to see how they play, and we're going to take it 1 game at a time, and that's how Kevin Cash and the Rays have been taking it. And so tonight's game 12, and we hope that by tomorrow they're 12-0 instead of 11-0. Thank you for your question, Trudy. God bless you. And the last question is from Eli, and Eli wanted to know if I felt like Live Golf had shown better than PGA at the Masters. And I don't believe they had. They did have a lot of people in the top 10, but at the end of the day, we had 3 PGA players in the top 10, and one of them won it. So that was the main thing, and I'm glad that they won it. But the Live Golf, I personally don't believe Live Golf should even be invited to the Masters or any of the majors. They're a hostile organization. And these people that have sold their soul for money, let them go and sell their soul for money to the Saudi Arabians if they want to. And I really believe it or not, that sports has been corrupted like most of society with the money. And nobody has a moral compass to know that once they have enough money, they don't need to sell their morality. And for these Live golfers to work for a Saudi Arabian government, this brutal dictatorship that traumatizes, tortures their people, and authorizes murders throughout the world, I just don't support it. And if you were a millionaire, and everybody said, well, Cowboy, it's money. Yeah, if you're a millionaire, do you need more millions? And if you come to the point you're that greedy, then you're where you are at Live Golf. So I'm very glad PGA, and I don't support Live Golf. Thank you for your question. God bless you. DJX, what you got for me tonight?
Well, Cowboy, you know what it is. Let's get right off into it, buddy. All right. NFL draft, the Bucs, cornerback, Darrell Luter Jr., South Alabama. What you think about him?
I think he's a low round pick, probably 3rd or 4th, but I don't think he'll be 1st or 2nd. But he's a player, okay. and that's what we need. Some bodies back there. We got some name players back there. We need somebody that they can train and get ready. And this is a good prospect. Maybe 3rd or 4th round.
All right, sounds good. All right, Diamondbacks, Skipper Torrey ejected versus Brewers, and people are talking.
They're talking about the ejection because of the clock that didn't start right, and he got ejected because the timekeeper didn't set the clock back to 0. And he felt like that was wrong, which it really was, but you can't argue with the referee like that. They just throw you out, which they did.
Exactly.
And but I support what he did because, I mean, if you're going to do it efficiently and you've got videotape and you see that the clock was 5 seconds short of what it was supposed to have been on it to start with, and your guy's getting penalized, well, that's 5 seconds.
Right.
I mean, and you can see it, we can see it, the clock can see it, the camera can see it. If the umpires don't want to spend enough time to go over and look at it, well, I don't support that.
Right, exactly. I'm with you on that, Cowboy. All right, back to the Rays. The Rays must be taken seriously.
They got to be taken seriously.
They got to be.
They're hitting on all cylinders. Home runs, RBIs, singles, defensive plays, 1 glove scoops, a couple of them, a couple gloves, second baseman running there, the ball hitting, him throwing the ball out of the glove as he's running to catch the guy at first base 2 times in 1 inning, in 1 game. The glove, passed an A+. The hitting, passed an A+. The pitching, passed an A+. They're undefeated. They're hitting on all cylinders.
Excellent team.
They could be one of the greatest teams that's ever really played in 3 games.
How real are the Rays?
Win World Series.
Yeah.
Absolutely. They've been to 2 and they've won 2 World Series in their history, and they've lost both of them. They say 3rd time's a charm, but guess what? They're after one. And they could be the team. This could be it.
Now, most teams will be intimidated to play.
They are intimidated when they look at them standings and everybody else has got a number behind the loss column and they got a 0.
All right, I'm going to leave it off right here. The Oakland A's are rebuilding their team this year.
They are. They're a rebuild in progress. They don't have a stadium. There's no money in Oakland. That's where everybody's leaving. It's an impoverished area. The business is left. It's Detroit out west, and they're in a bad way. They're in a bad way on their stadium. They're in a bad way on their team. They're in a bad situation. And all the great sports teams have left Oakland.
I was just finna say
the Oakland Raiders have left to Vegas.
The Raiders gone.
The Clippers are gone. The Golden State Warriors that played out there, they went to San Francisco proper. Everybody's leaving Oakland. And so the A's have been playing on this antiquated field for years, and the public don't want to give no money to the stadium. They don't want to envision that it bring money in. They don't have the tax base, yada, yada, yada. Well, if you don't have it, you've seen all the other teams leave, what's going to happen. And they just don't have the payroll of the A's, so they're having to rebuild from the farm system without any quote-unquote free agents, major free agents, and it's going to take a long time. They've got a lot of decisions to make.
Right.
Put themselves in the stadium, get an investment group and get some money into that A organization, and get their chin up off the ground.
Yeah, so they got to rebuild.
They got to rebuild.
Oh, yeah.
Not only the team, the whole organization.
Right. All right, well, that's what I got for you tonight, Cowboy.
Well, God bless you, DJX.
God bless you.
And, let's everybody be kind to each other. We need kindness in this world. And be thankful for all that we have been given. And until next show, God bless you and Cowboy out.